Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about American politics and the show Watchmen, HBO's 2019 show Watchmen. All right, so HBO put out a show recently called Watchmen. It is based on the classic comic book Watchmen. It was really, really fascinating. I watched the entire thing recently, but I do want to talk about that. So one of the things that I've been kind of purporting, that I've been bringing forward to you, is that basically American, what's the best way to describe this? So, so the new most important media in America is the entertainment industry. The newest vector for entertainment in America and globally is streaming, right? So HBO has always been a walled garden. You know, you have to pay for it, right? They've actually now bifurcated that garden, and they have HBO and HBO Max. It's confusing to everyone. It's not really clear why you would need to pay twice and why they would take their content and cut it into two different pools, right? But basically, Watchmen is a show that was put onto HBO. Now, I didn't see Watchmen, right? Now, I did not see Watchmen when it was originally released, and the reason why is it's on an HBO walled garden, right? Now, why do I pay for Netflix, but I won't pay for HBO? Well, Netflix is an aggregator. They get content from many, many, many different sources, and HBO they're one source. They get, they are. I don't see them as the same as Netflix. They haven't reached out to the same number of studios. They don't get like CBS, ABC, and I'm almost positive that I know it, right? So I'm almost positive that Netflix has gotten content from the majority of studios, majority of movie studios, and the majority of television producing companies, right? Whereas that's just not the case with HBO. HBO they buy movies, yes, but television shows, they generally make their own, and they're much more intimate. They're more tied together, right? It's not the same as Netflix. They're not an aggregator like Netflix, right? So this show, Watchmen, brilliant show, very, very smart. It had a lot to say about politics, and it also seemed incredibly prescient, right? This show, Watchmen, was very prescient. It dealt with major themes that we're dealing with right now in July of 2020, right now, right? But the show was made over a year ago, right? So, they were talking about a year ago major themes that are now right at the forefront of American politics and the forefront of American culture. The show, it almost seems prophetic, right? But one of the things I thought was really interesting about the show was a very distinct choice, and I think it's a really useful message right now, right, to tie these things two together. So the show Watchmen had this character Angela. She's the protagonist of the show, and she's a powerful woman, right? And she's actually a vigilante. Actually, no, I shouldn't say that. Wait. She is a costumed hero. That's a better way. I shouldn't say a vigilante. She's a costumed hero, because this show is it's very interesting on what it does when it comes to specifically declaring who is on the side of the law and who's not on the side of the law. And Angela is on the side of the law in the show, right? But she is also a costumed hero, which is very, very different, right? And Angela she's a very powerful woman in the show. So when she is in her costumed hero alter ego, she has a vehicle, right? And it's very much like Batman with the Batmobile. The Batmobile is iconic, and it's a statement about Batman, right? So the Batmobile says, hey, I'm stylish, I'm powerful, I'm fast, right? All those things about Batman without Batman having to say it, right? Well, the vehicle that's chosen for Angela, the main protagonist in Watchmen, is a Grand National. It's specifically a 1986 Grand National. And the Grand National, when I saw this thing, I was absolutely blown away. I was just absolutely stunned to see this car specifically in this show. And the reason why is, I was like, holy cows, this is really incredible. Just seeing this car in the show. And the reason why is the Grand National is a super deep cut fan favorite, right? So it is it absolutely is, a fan favorite of the, of the different people who are in, it's very much a fan favorite of people who enjoy vehicles and enjoy cars. And when you look at it, you're like, wow, this is really different. And so when they take the time to show the 1986 Grand National in it, the Grand National was specifically created by a regular production vehicle, which you could buy in a whole bunch of different colors, right? But when they made the Grand National, when they made the 1986 Grand National, they made this specific version of the Grand National, and you could only get it in one color, right? And this Grand National was the most powerful Grand National that had ever been built, and it only came in one color, right? And so you would put out and when it came out, it cost, I think, about $65,000 when it came out. It was not cheap, right? Today, you can't touch one for less than 150 grand. But when they brought it out, they were like, hey, this is a special vehicle. And so, immediately people were like, great, I want this super powerful Grand National that has a more powerful engine than that has ever been created in a Grand National, more powerful, a better handling, platform than has ever been put into one, and I would like it in this color, and I would like it in this color, and I would like it in this color. And basically, Buick, it's a Buick Grand National. Buick was like, nope. Actually, the Grand National, they said, no, it only comes in one color, and you could take it or leave it, right? And that one color was aligned with power. The most powerful Grand National that ever built only came in one color, and that color was instantly tied to power, right? And I thought, wow, what an incredible statement in Watchmen, right? Very subtle, a very subtle statement of this color is tied to power, right? And I was like, and only this color is tied to power. And it was a really, really incredible use of symbols in the show, and I was incredibly impressed. And you had to pay attention to really see what they were saying and what they were doing with this specific choice. I'm really curious if you caught this message in Watchmen. Watchmen really was very, very fascinating. I was really incredibly impressed with how prescient the show was. And this message of this color is tied to power was just incredibly powerful in the show. I definitely encourage. It really, really something. I will say this: I had to watch this on Hulu, and the reason why is it was released for free for one weekend only, and you had to watch it on that one weekend, and then it disappeared. So, if you don't have HBO, it's going to be very difficult to watch this. And I think this goes to that bigger story too of, I think more and more, Netflix is so important. If it's not on Netflix, a very small amount of people see it. And if it is on Netflix, virtually everyone sees it, almost overnight. All that's my opinion. I'd love to hear your opinion on this topic. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing. Have a wonderful millennium.